Hey guys, thanks to the help of GEMR, I'm finally able to have monthly figure giveaways. I plan on holding giveaways for all the figure lines I collect, Ultra Act, MonsterArts, Figuarts, and more. To enter into the current giveaway, sign up to GEMR using the giveaway link in the description of this video. If you already have a GEMR account, post a photo of anything tokusatsu or anime related in your collection, use the tag DiegoDoom giveaway, and you're in. The more people who participate, the bigger and better the giveaways will become. Now, on to the review. Hello everyone, it's DiegoDoom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing S.H.MonsterArts King Ghidorah Special Color version. This version of King Ghidorah comes from the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. To learn more about the film, check out my review of the original S.H.MonsterArts King Ghidorah. This particular version of MonsterArts King Ghidorah is known as the Special Color version. This particular version of King Ghidorah has a brighter paint app and multicolored gravity beams, replicating King Ghidorah's look from the poster created by Noriyoshi Orai. Be sure to check out the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. It is absolutely fantastic. S.H.MonsterArts King Ghidorah Special Color version is another fantastic release in the S.H.MonsterArts line. King Ghidorah has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a great range of articulation. First, let's take a look at the box. Now that we have the box out of the way, let's take a look at King Ghidorah himself. King Ghidorah has a great range of articulation. First, let's start with the heads. We can look up, down, left, right. The mouths can open up. Inside of the mouths, the tongues can move around just a little bit. You may need to grab a special tool to move the tongues around. As we come down from the heads, we have King Ghidorah's three long multi-segmented necks that have an absolutely fantastic range of articulation. The joints on the necks are very tight and smooth at the same time. Now, if you guys saw my review of the original King Ghidorah figure, then you know I had an issue with the center neck constantly popping off. Now, there was a time when I thought I actually fixed this issue, but to this day, this middle neck still pops off quite a bit on my original MonsterArts King Ghidorah figure. Now this time around, all the joints are nice and tight, and I have not had any issues with the necks popping off. Moving down to the upper chest, we can lean slightly forwards, slightly backwards, twist side to side, and lean side to side slightly. This time around, the upper chest joint is extremely tight. Now I'm not sure if this is new engineering or this is something specific to my figure. In the original release, the upper chest can move very freely, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. I just assume it's just tight joints. As we move down to the legs, we can kick forward this much, backward this much, come out to the side this much. We have a nice bend in the knees. The feet can tilt and swivel. Spin around to the back. We have King Ghidorah's two very long multi-segmented tails that have an absolutely fantastic range of articulation, and they do not flop or droop. Finally, the moment of truth. King Ghidorah's wings. The question everyone's been asking, are the wings weak and fragile like the first release, or have they been improved? In my opinion, I think the wings have been improved. They definitely feel more solid and sturdy than the first release. Now, just because the wings do feel stronger doesn't mean you can be careless with them. I still advise carefully hold the wings and move them at their hinges. Do not grab and move the wings from the outer edges. You don't want to stress the joint or the wings themselves. So for the articulation of the wings, they can come all the way forward this much and all the way backwards this much, which is definitely very cool. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, King Ghidorah is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have King Ghidorah's 3 identical heads. The heads have a fantastic detailed and textured sculpt. The heads have a very nice vibrant metallic gold paint app. This metallic gold paint app can be seen throughout King Ghidorah's body. At the tops of the heads, we have the various horns with a ribbed texture. As we come down, we have the head spikes with a sharp sculpt. Next, we have King Ghidorah's nicely textured, prominent, scaly brow and snout. The eyes have a glossy black paint app with an amber paint app for the irises and black vertical reptilian pupils. The teeth have a nice sharp sculpt with a dirty bone paint app. On some of the teeth, the paint apps have a little bit of bleed through, but it's not too bad. The inside of the mouth and tongue have a very nice flesh tone paint app. Moving down, we have King Ghidorah's 3 long necks with the very nicely textured scales continuing. On the backs of the necks, we can see the spikes from the head continuing down. As we come down from the necks, we have the chest. The chest has a very nice muscular sculpt with finer, sharp scales. As we move back, we have King Ghidorah's large wings. At the base of the wings, we can see the finer scales continuing. As we move out, we have the very nicely detailed wing membrane with various smooth creases and folds. Going throughout the wing membrane, we can see the bone structures that come to sharp points at the end of the wings. Moving down to the legs, we have a nice muscular sculpt for the quads and calves with the finer scales continuing. The feet are very nicely done with the finer scales continuing. The toenails have a nice, clean, sharp sculpt. Finally, we have King Ghidorah's long tails with the finer sharp scales continuing to the end of the tails. At the end of the tails, we have the clubs with a nice large sharp spiked sculpt. As a whole, King Ghidorah turned out to be absolutely fantastic. Now, I admit when this figure was first announced, I was very disappointed because I was burned out on repaints from the MonsterArts line. Once I received this special color version of King Ghidorah, I was very happy. The new metallic gold paint app and more stable wings really makes this figure a must-buy. This figure looks and feels way better than the original. Despite the good words, I'm left with the same feeling I had with Godzilla 1964 Emergence. This is the figure that should have been released in the first place. If you have the original King Ghidorah with a great set of wings and you do not care for a flight stand, then you're not really missing anything if you skip this release. If you have a King Ghidorah with sketchy wings like I do, love the new paint apps, and love the idea of a flight stand, then definitely pick this version up. If you do not have a MonsterArts King Ghidorah figure in your collection, then this is the figure to pick up. Now, let's take a look at King Ghidorah's accessories. King Ghidorah comes with 1 kid's ship, 1 flight stand, and a set of gravity beams. First, let's take a look at the kid's ship. The kid's ship has a nice sculpt and nice paint applications, but I'm not really impressed with this ship. The sculpted paint apps get a little gummy in some spots, and the panel lines look a little strange in some areas as well. I think it would have been better if they cast correct scale aside and made the kid's ship bigger. Maybe the ship should be the size of our Super X3 from the Toho Special Weapon Set 2. That way, they would have had more room for detail, cleaner paint apps, and maybe the inclusion of a teleportation ray gimmick or something. Next, we have the flight stand that comes in 3 pieces. First, we have the nice large base with a glossy black paint app. On the top of the base, we have the Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah title in Japanese with clean red and yellow paint apps. Next, we have the curved neck of the base. At the top of the neck, we have the head slot that has a very strong and sturdy ratcheting joint. Finally, we have the clear flight cradle that is perfectly molded to fit King Ghidorah's body in a flight pose. To set this all up, first insert the neck into the base. You will have to press firmly to get the neck all the way into the base. Next, slot the flight cradle into the head of the neck until you hear a firm click. Finally, grab King Ghidorah and put him into a flight pose, place him into the cradle, and that's it. Now, we can finally put King Ghidorah into safe and stable flying poses. Now, if you are really brave and you're dying to put Mecha King Ghidorah into a flight pose, you can use this cradle, but it's kinda sketchy. I think they should have given us a flight cradle for Mecha King Ghidorah instead of a subpar kid ship. Finally, we have the set of gravity beams. The gravity beams have a fantastic energy surging sculpt with very different paint apps this time around. Gravity beam A has a translucent yellow paint app with some slight orange gradients. Gravity beam B has a very nice translucent gradiated orange paint app. Gravity beam C has a very nice translucent blue paint app. To set this all up, the infamous gravity beam necks and clips return. First, start by pegging the articulated necks into the base. Next, peg the tops of the articulated necks into the straight rods. Next, peg the rods into the gravity beam clips. Finally, try to find a good place on the gravity beam for the clips to clip onto. Align the beams to King Ghidorah's mouths, and that's it. This setup is tough and time-consuming to deal with, but if you have patience, you can have a very nice scene. I find it easier to set the gravity beams up by using friction and placing the end points of the gravity beams on something to support it. Now, with the gravity beams in place, King Ghidorah can blast Godzilla, and we finally have a unique beam for Mecha King Ghidorah's robotic head. Now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's compare King Ghidorah Special Color version with the original King Ghidorah and then do some size comparisons. To conclude the review, S.H.MonsterArts King Ghidorah Special Color version is another fantastic release in the S.H.MonsterArts line. King Ghidorah has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a great range of articulation. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. If you have the original King Ghidorah with a great set of wings and you don't care for a flight stand, then you're not really missing anything. If you have a King Ghidorah with sketchy wings, love the new paint apps, love the idea of a flight stand, or you do not have a MonsterArts King Ghidorah figure in your collection, then this is definitely the King Ghidorah figure to pick up. Be sure to check out the 1991 film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. It is absolutely fantastic. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Check out the Facebook fan page, add me on GEMR, and follow me on Instagram. Like, comment, and subscribe.